Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into a huge story, how China's car companies, which were once kind of an afterthought, are now absolutely dominating the electric vehicle race.
Okay, let's just hop in a time machine and go back to 2011. The whole EV world was still brand new. And when Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, was asked about this Chinese company, BYD, his answer was pretty dismissive. I mean, just listen to this.
Okay, now let's jump back to today. Wow, what a difference a decade makes, right? That old skepticism, it feels like ancient history, because by 2023, BYD wasn't just in the game. They actually made more new energy vehicles than Tesla. And not for the first time, this was the second year in a row.
So you gotta ask, what on earth happened? How did this happen? How did Chinese car makers pull off this insane comeback and just blast to the front of the pack?
Well, it wasn't just one magic trick. It was a really smart layered game plan. And if you want to understand it, BYD is the perfect case study. They basically wrote the playbook on how to win.
And that playbook really boils down to three main things. First, keep your prices super competitive. Second, control every single piece of how your car is made. And third, just move incredibly fast. Okay, let's zoom in on that second point, controlling the supply chain. This is called vertical integration, and BYD takes it to a whole other level. For their car, the Dolphin, they literally make everything themselves. The only parts they buy from other companies are the tires and the windows. That's it! This is a huge deal because it gives them total control over their costs and means they don't have to worry about the supply chain problems that have been a nightmare for everyone else.
And then there's the speed. I mean, this is just mind-blowing. A new Chinese EV company can take a car from a drawing on a napkin to rolling off the assembly line in just 2 years, 24 months. Now, compare that to a classic premium car company. They're taking more than twice as long, over 50 months. This incredible speed means they can jump on new trends in the blink of an eye. Now, this kind of speed doesn't just happen by accident. It's all part of a much bigger picture. The government has laid out this super ambitious roadmap, setting these huge targets for EV sales that basically forces the entire industry to go into overdrive, to innovate and grow like never before.
Okay, so we've seen the playbook, right? The strategy. But what does that actually look like in the real world? Let's check out the scoreboard, because the numbers here are, well, they're pretty wild.
I mean, the growth we're seeing is just off the charts. Look at a company like Leapmotor. In just the first half of 2025, their deliveries shot up by more than 155% from the year before. You just don't see numbers like that in the car business. It's nuts. And it's not a one-off. Check out XPeng. Their deliveries for the quarter didn't just go up, they exploded by over 241% compared to the same time last year. They're not just beating records, they're absolutely shattering them.
And get this, it's not just the car companies we're talking about. The tech giant Xiaomi, the company that makes phones, decided, hey, let's build a car. And in their second quarter, they were already shipping over 81,000 cars and pulling in billions. It's just incredible.
Even the old school, established car makers are getting in on the action and totally transforming. Take Geely. Their sales of new energy vehicles leaped 126%. And now, more than half of all the cars they sell are electric. You can see the whole industry is making this massive pivot, and it is happening so fast.
So, once you've pretty much conquered the biggest car market on the planet, what do you do next? Well, you go global. And that's exactly what Chinese car makers are doing, and they are not holding back.
Yeah, they're not just focused on China anymore. They're planting their flags everywhere. We're talking about Europe, Latin America, the Middle East, Africa, Southeast Asia. Basically, they're expanding all over the world.
And to make this global push work, they're getting really strategic. Instead of having, 5 different teams at 5 different sub-brands all trying to figure out self-driving tech, a company like Geely is pulling them all together. They're creating one single super-powered team to be more efficient and stop wasting money. But it's not all smooth sailing. There's some major roadblocks ahead. For one, you've got trade barriers. The EU and the US are putting up tariffs to protect their own car industries. And then there's the other big challenge, brand perception. They have to convince buyers around the world that the old stereotypes about quality are a thing of the past and really earn their trust. So, what's the next chapter in this story? Well, this is where things get really interesting. The whole focus of the competition is changing. It's not just about the engine or how fast the car goes anymore. The real battle is now being fought over the software, the brains of the car.
And this brings us to a key concept.
the software-defined vehicle, or SDV. The best way to think about it is to stop thinking about a car and start thinking about your phone. It's a piece of hardware that gets better over time with software updates, new features, and personalization all sent over the air.
And why does this matter so much? Well, look at how we buy things now. A big study found that for almost 75% of car buyers, the digital stuff, the screen, the apps, the connectivity, is now a huge part of their decision. It's not just about the drive anymore, it's about the experience inside.
And companies like XPeng are going all in on this idea. They're building something they call an AI tech tree. Think of it as one core AI brain that's not just for their cars, but for a whole family of smart machines, like robots and even flying cars. It's a massive vision.
And this really gets to the heart of it. The CEO of XPeng basically said, look, we're not just trying to make a better car, we're trying to completely change what a car company is.
So that leaves us with one big question to chew on. As software becomes the most important part of a vehicle, what are we actually buying anymore? Is it a car with a computer in it? Or is it a computer on wheels? The answer to that is going to define how we get around for decades to come.